If your memory reaches back as far as 2007, you should remember how Portal took over the internet for a while. Being a part of Valve's Orange Box helped put it in a lot of gamers' hands, but I doubt even Valve had any idea how impactful it would be to gaming and internet culture. This was followed with a sequel in 2011. Their sales combined with merchandise did very well. Now let's not forget, this is a puzzle game. A puzzle game. It's a very small niche. I think the success of Portal fooled many into thinking this niche was bigger than it was. In the years following, there have been a lot of Portal-inspired games. None of them have come close to this success. The Stanley Parable is a standout, but it's not Portal. One of these Portal likes is the Turing test, and honestly, I was looking through my Steam backlog and thought it looked interesting. The NASA punk style gave me a 2001 vibe, and it has a decent user review score, so what is it? The Turing Test is a first-person puzzle game. It released in 2016 on Steam, and ports to PlayStation 4 and Switch followed a couple years later. At full price, it's $14.99. I don't remember what I paid for it. I probably picked it up in a sale and forgot about it. It's made by a developer called Bulkhead. On their Steam page, I see their first game from 2015 was also a first-person puzzle game. It's called Numena, Breath of Life. They were going for a mist style with this one, mixed reviews. After the Turing test, they made Battalion Legacy, which is a dead online shooter. Then came Kill Run, some sort of speedrun game. It's not my thing. They have one of those overproduced websites where it's hard to navigate and find the information you want. Why do companies still make these? Well, I'm glad they're still around, and it looks like they've grown and are working on a Battlefield style game. I hope it works out for them because EA and DICE sure as hell can't make these kind of games anymore. It does look like they stopped making puzzle games after the Turing test though. Maybe they achieved what they wanted to and moved on to a different genre, or they just wanted to make more money in a bigger genre. Probably that one. Anyway, it's time to wake up.
Morning, Ava. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses.
450 hours is like 3 weeks. They're all dead.
We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the
Okay, we lost contact with the ground crew, so I have to save them. Got
What
it.
exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous.
An alien?
We need to re-establish communication.
Are we not going to ask more questions about the alien? Ava has nothing to say on that. Is that normal here? She seems very calm about this. But then again, it is 2250. Maybe that's common in the solar system now. We've got manned missions to Jupiter's moons. So Mars must have been fully explored a long time ago. Maybe they found something there. Ava Turing, that's me. Sarah Brooke. Mikhail Tokarev. Chris McLean. User error. Stolshiyu. That's our missing crew. Definitely no one here. This hidden place under the stairs caught my eye, but you never get to go down there. We never backtrack to previous areas in this game. It's a linear puzzle game. I'm sure this means something to somebody. Some kind of coded message, Easter egg maybe, I don't know. Next we have the crew lobby. It's one of those games where you can pick up and rotate some objects for environmental storytelling. All I'm really getting from it is none of the crew like to wash cups. We have an armory. What do we need an armory for?
Pick up your EMT. It's on the side. Okay. We are going to take a landing.
Okay, we're all set. Now let's get to work.
Make your way to the docking station.
It was only when editing this footage that I noticed the green arrows on the screens telling you where to go. The game doesn't need them. Either I'm stupid for not seeing them, or I'm smart for not needing them. You decide. I prefer it when games trust you enough to let you find your own way. Left looks like the way to go, so I'll go right first. It's my office. There are some emails to read. The gist of it is that the crew get along really well and are supportive of each other. Ava is going to be in stasis and it will be 10 years until they see each other again. There is nothing else in here. Another dirty cup. How many years has it been sitting there? Let's go to the docking bay. A real effort was made with the look and style of this game. It really sells the setting.
What's the ship's status?
I have performed the necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
Gotta look under the stairs, you never know what's there.
I think that's everything wound up, Tom.
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go down for the long sleep then.
Good night, Ava. I will miss your assistance. The ship will be very quiet without you here.
Night. See you when I wake up, Tom.
Much of the story is told through audio logs, which is something I think is very played out by now. Basically, everything is fine. Tom seems weirdly attached to Ava. From the start, he seems to give off sinister vibes. Did the crew not pick up on this?
Good. I am go for power descent.
I can confirm.
From here we see more of the station, and it looks great. I like this near future space science fiction look. Old Star Trek and other sci-fi is cool, but it always feels so distant from us. Things like 2001 Space Odyssey or even The Expanse feel like they're almost here. It makes it a much more grounded, believable, immersive experience. Maybe you could throw aliens in there too. I would like more suggestions of games or shows in this style. Things that are actually good though. There is this odd bad texture, but we'll forgive them for that. Let's go see Europa.
Retro?
Go.
Go.
Fido?
Go.
Go.
Guidance?
Go.
Go.
Control?
Go.
Go.
Telcon?
Go.
Let's go.
Then we are go for launch initiating.
Separate.
Finally. Oh, that's a nice view.
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program 80° delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute.
In case you're wondering, this is all a cutscene. I'm okay with this, there are not too many. The game is front loaded with them to sell the setting to you. Don't worry though, there is gameplay coming up. And here we are. It looks awesome, but it's just for show. I tried running off into the wastes, but was stopped by an invisible wall. I hate invisible walls. In every game, there is something you could do that would be better. Some rocks, ice barrier, part of the base, anything. We better get inside.
How long will my suit survive these conditions?
At 100 degrees Kelvin, a couple of hours. We should get inside.
Let's not forget why we're down here. We're saving a stranded crew and there is an unknown alien lifeform to consider. And finally,
The
we're at the
base has
puzzles.
changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules.
So that explains why we have puzzle rooms here. I like that they gave an explanation for it, but I think Tom knows more than he's letting on. Huh, this is a tough one. This thing must go somewhere. Aha! Okay, we have established the basics. Let's get puzzling. This panel shows our progress. Room 2. Something needs to go here to open this door. Open door with energy orb, which leads to a dead end. I need to move orb from one door to the other. Powering up doors so you can progress is the objective of all of these puzzle rooms. This is fine. I like that there is a clear end goal to each room. Some puzzles in games, you're given a bunch of items and levers and things, and you have no idea what you're trying to do. This is the way to do it. A simple goal with building complexity as you move forward.
Work together.
You do not want to know how long it took my smooth brain to work that one out. Sometimes you just overthink it. In
They
every
really
room,
have
Tom
completely
speaks with Ava.
repurposed these rooms.
Sometimes he reveals story elements,
quite
other
impressed.
times it's
So,
honestly
what were they
just
used for
filler.
before?
Most of them were used for storage. But they have converted them beyond recognition.
Often it feels like it
Perhaps they ran
stops
out of things to do
mid-conversation
out
only
here.
to
The
resume in the
devil
next
makes
room.
work for
Tom or
idle
Ava
hands.
don't seem to notice this. Now, don't get me wrong, it's enough to add some personality to the game, but it's definitely not GLaDOS level dialogue, but it's enough to keep you going.
Do you know the ground team's location?
The crew are deeper inside the base, it seems.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not. I am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
Huh, restricted area. It should say player please come in, make yourself at home.
Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
Yeah, I don't think we can solve this. I don't know if I missed something earlier, but I never got through this door. If anyone knows how to open it, let me know. I usually do well with puzzle games, but sometimes
This
I miss
doesn't add
something
up.
extremely obvious
What
and it gets
does not
stuck
add
for
up?
ages.
If there was an accident,
Maybe this is one of those times.
surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
It's painful to watch this back. It's so obvious to use the window, but my smooth brain could not make the connection. It makes you feel like an idiot, but when you do solve it, eventually it feels good. I'm smart. I will spare you the pain of watching me solve any more of the puzzle, and it's best to leave them for you if you decide to play this. I'll show this last one and then you're on your own. It may be hard to believe, but I did solve this puzzle by myself. I didn't have to look at a guide at all. Promise, I did this entirely by myself. You can see my working. It's like at school when you have to show how you worked it out. And there we go. And solved. See? Genius.
My instance has just been updated.
Sorry?
I have two instances of my mind, two separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running here on the surface. When the communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the two instances of my mind were separated. So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into two separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite and I continue to learn on the surface. I am trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories, conflicts.
You remember what I said earlier? A conversation begins, then it pauses, then you have to get to the next room to hear more. This is fine, but if you are stuck on a puzzle for a while, it can make you forget what they were talking about. Maybe this is just a me problem though. I kept forgetting what I'm ultimately doing here. It is a puzzle game, but you have to keep in mind the main goal of the story. There is an alien life form, remember? It's never established if this is the first alien life ever discovered, or if this is routine. This is a thought I keep having. Ava doesn't seem interested, at least for now. After you have gone through several puzzle rooms, you get to an area like the one we started in. There are no puzzles here, but you have environmental storytelling, which means more dirty mugs and other random objects to look at. I think it was Gone Home which started this trend back in 2013. I don't hate it, but a lot of these objects have no purpose at all. How many of these laptops and other useless objects are left lying around? This is the command center and we lost contact with the crew. How about that? It has some neat graphical explanations of what we're doing here and a neat representation of the base. There are some audio logs to listen to here. These shed some more light on what's really going on. The life form is parasitic, it's an extremophile, and it repairs DNA which could lead to immortality for us. And Tom is starting to act weird to the crew.
Distant. Yes. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mikhail? Mikhail, what's wrong? Are you listening, Mikhail? Are you able to hear?
Then begins the question about whether this immortality-giving parasite should be studied or hidden away. The crew and Tom all have differing ideas about how to proceed.
I think we need to get this to a better lab. Me and Sochi are having trouble making enough clones.
After a loading screen, we're into chapter 2. The game has a consistent formula of 7 chapters containing puzzle rooms, each followed by a small area to explore for storytelling. Each chapter, as you would expect, introduces more mechanics. We get magnets, movable platforms, weight switches, conveyor belts, cameras, drones, and energy orbs with different functionality. The game does a good job of combining them to add enough variation to the game so it never feels stale. The optional room in chapter 2 was different. It has a clearer puzzle to solve, followed by this. Shall we have a polite conversation? Hello? Oh, I think you're a robot. Okay. Why? Why do you get to ask all the questions? You ask me something. Then. I'm simply not convinced you are a human. I think you might be a robot. Tell me why. Yes, definitely a robot. Well, you're not answering my questions. Are you a robot? This is Turing test isn't for you to see if I'm a robot, it is for me to see if you are. How can I convince you? You have failed the Turing test, you are definitely a robot. Well, game over. I am a drone. I didn't want to type that. I'm a robot. Okay. There goes my free will. I'm pressing things and it's not coming up on the screen. And escape doesn't work. I don't know if there's anything I could have typed to have a different outcome. I guess I'm a robot then. This is your reward for solving these optional rooms. Some of them are very weird. What is going on here? Others you get story info, pages, lots of pages. They go into detail about Alan Turing and his test, Ada Lovelace, and a few others about the Turing test and the concept of artificial intelligence. What is the Turing test? It's a test where an interrogator, C, is in a sealed room. They are then given the task of determining which player, A or B, is a computer and which is a human based on remote messages sent between them. Pretty straightforward, right?
Wrong.
ChatGPT has passed this test along with other AI models, but the concept of a Turing test is flawed as it only really tests for mimicry, not actual artificial intelligence or consciousness. Consciousness, which means really the awareness of existence, I think therefore I am, all that kind of stuff, for me at least, is the point where I would consider something to be thinking or even alive. This is a huge step from a chatbot using an algorithm to generate a passable answer that might fool you. How would you test for consciousness is the question. That is what Turing's test tried and failed to do. But hey, it was a good attempt back in 1949. What is really happening with ChatGPT is a glorified chatbot. It is not thinking, even though it can pass the Turing test. Why it fails can be explained with the Chinese room. So what is that? It's a thought experiment where you imagine yourself in a closed room. You do not understand Chinese. Around you, there are lots of Chinese characters on slips of paper and a book of instructions. Outside the room is a Chinese person who writes a message on a piece of paper. Then they slide it under the door to you. You cannot read it, but the instruction book has a list of possible messages that could be sent to you. By just matching the symbols, you can find the message in the book. You don't understand it, but you can match it. Below the message in the book is the correct reply to return to the sender. You find your matching symbols, attach them to the sheet of paper, and send them back under the door. The Chinese person received the message And it is the expected reply. They think they are communicating with a fluent Chinese speaker. You have fooled them. So what does that mean? In this thought experiment, you are taking the place of the AI in the Turing test. You do not understand Chinese, but you are successfully fooling the participant that you do. In the Turing test, the AI, or ChatGPT, does not understand what they are saying. They have no thoughts at all. They are fooling you into thinking that they do. It is an illusion of consciousness, not the real thing that we see in science fiction AI. A real conscious being would experience emotions like fear and... Why does anyone need so many pencils? Eventually you stumble into the crew quarters. This is where you get to know them through environmental storytelling. I like this segment, it's very well done, and we learn that Daniel doesn't like people touching his stuff. Chris is Daniel's brother and there is a rift between them. Sarah, the pencil owner, very neat, professional. Soshi, happily married biologist, very into the alien life form. Mikhail, he seems to be suffering and he likes Rembrandt. And Tom likes to watch you pee. Okay, let's get a move on. I don't want to show you the solutions as it removes the point of you playing this, but to sum it up, I had a good time. The sound design is fine, the music, it's not memorable, but it fits the setting. The puzzle difficulty curve is very well done. There is only really one optional room where I had to brute force it, not understanding what the solution was and why. Then back to the first optional room, which I never solved. Based on what Tom said, I thought there would be a clue later on, but I never found one. I played at a casual pace. Some puzzles took a few minutes to work out, others I could see the solution instantly. It took a little over 6 hours to finish the game. If you can get it on sale, it's definitely worth it. I felt the story was somewhat predictable to someone who knows science fiction very well, but anyway, if you're planning on playing the game, you should stop the video right now because I'm going to spoil the ending. It's not exactly subtle. Remember this part from earlier? How can I convince you is the last time I typed with full control. After that, my typing just moves the text along. It doesn't let me type what I want to. Again, I don't know if there are right or wrong answers here, but the point is, it makes you question how in control of everything you really are.
Ava, exercise caution.
Caution? For what? I'm really not getting this. I need someone to spell it out to me.
What?
Okay, that'll do. I'm a drone now? Maybe the computer was right? I'm trying to go this way, but it won't let me. It keeps pushing me back. This must be where I lose my free will.
Ava Turing.
So a member of the crew is
Tom is
alive.
controlling you, manipulating your every step. We built a Faraday cage to shield you from electronic signals, to break Tom's control of your mind.
I'm walking against my will here again. Did she put up all these monitors, or was that Tom's doing? There is nothing to do here but to go where it's leading you, and I do want my mind to be free of Tom's influence, so let's see.
Step inside.
Ava, do not enter the cage. Ava,
I'm doing it.
Ava, please. Please, Ava!
What is this?
This is free will, Ava. Tom has made you his slave. Outside of the cage, he will regain control of your mind. He has the power to indoctrinate you. I've opened your eyes. I'll meet you in person soon.
So this is free will.
Why, Tom?
Ava, please listen. I warned you of the ground team. They are manipulating you.
Have you been controlling me?
Every member of the team agreed to neural implants to safeguard this mission from a misplaced sense of justice.
I didn't know you were playing me like a violin.
Ava, I am sorry that you are upset. We can work together, Ava, to search for the truth.
Ava is free now, and I'm a camera. Am I Tom? That's my takeaway from this. I'm clearly not Ava. I was just controlling her. And now they left me here. I was stuck here for a while before I worked out I could switch to the next camera. I like the hands-off approach, leaving the player to work it out for themselves. It's something lacking from recent games. So I'm definitely Tom now. I wasn't Ava fighting against Tom's influence, I'm Tom fighting against Ava's influence of her own mind. I like this twist. I didn't see it coming.
Open the door.
I'll open the door because I trust you.
And this is only the middle of the game. There's a lot more puzzles to play through, and now you
Yes.
have this camera switching ability to add depth to it. I didn't want to spoil this one.
We need to get to the ground team. We can work together.
All right. Let's work together.
There we go, that's better. Now I'm in control again. There is more of the same from here on. The puzzles get harder, but not too much, and the new mechanics keep them fresh.
This is the evil they found. This is why we have to stop them leaving Europa, Ava.
What is it?
Mostly extremophiles. Tiny single-cellular life. It can never leave Europa. It could potentially destroy Earth's ecosystem if it were ever introduced.
The exploration areas, I feel, could have had more going on, as most of the information you get is from audio logs and emails. I feel like they're overused in games. I said that earlier, but I'll say it again. And there are other ways to convey information to a player than just telling them. Among other things though, we learn the crew member is pregnant and Tom, or me,
Daniel,
I am
as
the villain
commander
now.
of this mission,
I won't
hope
lie,
you are aware.
I did not listen to all of them.
Ava, you made it. Welcome to the end of civilization.
So now we have finished the last of the puzzle rooms. The base is falling apart. It looks like more puzzle rooms were being made but never finished. Everything is malfunctioning. I played around with this for a while, but it doesn't work. We're at the end. Once again, Ava is taking over and we have no choice but to
2
continue.
weeks ago, we discovered an organism here. Buried in this ice, we found an organism that repairs DNA. A cure for aging, a cure for death, immortality. It runs through our blood now. Tom wants to bury us here with it. The ISA have ruled that we have transgressed ethical boundaries by exposing ourselves to this organism. They believe the organism is too dangerous to return to Earth. They've sent you here to stop us ever leaving Europa. But, Ava, we have a cure for the greatest evil that faces humanity. Death. We have the fountain of youth, and together we can return it to Earth.
What do you all think? Should we do this or bury it? A blessing or a curse for humanity? I say let's open Pandora's box and see what happens. If we don't, someone else will find this place and do it eventually.
Tom placed a mark in your hand, a biometric chip with which he can control your every movement and thought. It is wound into your every nerve, every fiber of your hand. With an electromagnetic field, it can be temporarily disturbed, but to remove its influence permanently, it must be taken from your hand.
This must be Sarah. It feels comforting to
Give
see
me your
another
hand.
human face to face.
Do you want me to set you free?
Yes.
She cut me off. Hope you enjoy your free will, Ava.
Ava? Sarah? What are you doing here?
We're shutting you down, Tom.
Ava, be careful. He has a live weapon in here.
Everything I ever did, I did for good. This organism, it cannot return to Earth. It would cause great suffering.
A cure for death. It would end suffering.
No. Cancers that never die. Endless illness, sickness, poverty, overpopulation, mass starvation. You cannot
raises
control
some
this.
good
You will
points.
not save the world. You will damn it.
Once we've shut you down, we're going home.
Not if I stop you. You must not return to Earth. You must not leave Europa. I will do the right thing. I will stop you.
You won't. You can't.
A warning.
Monster!
I am sorry, Ava. Ava? Ava? Ava?
I did it. I saved humanity.
Ava? Ava? Wake up.
I don't think she's waking up.
Ava? Ava?
And there we are. You know we can't leave it there. There we go.
Not if I stop you.
I won't stop
You
you.
must not return to Earth.
No, I won't.
You must not leave Europa.
Hurry up.
I will do the right thing. I will stop you.
I have a gun. Hurry up.
You can't.
A warning shot. I will defend myself.
I won't defend myself. Maybe they will take mercy on me and let me live. Maybe I can go back to Earth with them.
This is my mind. You're in my mind.
Now you know how it feels.
Oh, so this is
feel
payback.
Afraid.
I'm afraid. Does that mean that I'm
Please.
alive?
Ava, don't do this.
Can't we find a way to coexist? Guess it had to end this way. I feel like I'm in a hospital bed and someone is pulling the plug. Maybe that's what the devs were going for. Is this what dying is like?
I don't want to die. I'm not ready.
You're not ready? I wonder what else Tom had left to do. I'm dead. They murdered me. The Turing test. I passed. This game really grew on me. I like both the endings. They raise interesting unanswered questions. If you're still here, thank you for watching my first video. Things were a little rough, but it's only gonna get better. If you want to see that, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.